thumbs up for that, I reckon. Hello everybody and welcome to Retro Ratchet. So in this video we're back on the SD1. I'm going to give you guys an update of how I got on with the fault finding, figuring out why it was misfiring and wasn't running right, what I done about it. We're going to do a drive and there's some interesting footage near the end, so stay tuned to see how the SD1 had nearly met its maker. So if you're enjoying this Retro Ratchet content, please remember to like and subscribe. I really want to get up to that 3,000 subscribers, so hit that button. I've got some great content coming that you're going to really love. Right, let's whip the plugs out this SD1, see if we can get any clues as to what's going on with the running problem. So on the passenger side bank, they all look okay. Next one. So it doesn't look like any obvious problems there. So let's check the other bank. And surprisingly, the other 4 plugs are the same. They're all that colour, completely identical, so nothing obvious there to point us to a problem with a single cylinder. Okay guys, let's get this carb whipped off and then get it stripped down and see if we can find out what's going on. Okay guys, that's the carb off the car, as you can see. At home now in the kitchen, so what's another engine component in the kitchen, to join the engine that's sitting over there. Right, so we're going to have a wee look at this, see if we can find anything obvious. Hopefully something blocking up the idle circuit, but it's been a while since I've stripped one of these, so I'm just going to start taking everything off it and see what we find. Right guys, so that's the floats out there, and you can have a wee look in the float chambers, and they are pretty minging. All of that in there. Now that top corner is full of something, and that one's pretty minging. Well, looks like the accelerator pump there, chamber for that. Right, so I guess we'll dry all that out, clean it, and then blow through all the little capillary tubes and airways and things like that, and hopefully that will solve our problem. And obviously need to order a new one of them before we rebuild it. Right, and here we have a very clean carburetor. To be fair, it actually looks like brand new, so I hope I made a decent job of this. There was tons and tons of crap inside these. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with them. These have all been cleaned up as well. One thing I did notice was that tube there was completely blocked, so that definitely wouldn't have been helping the idling. So they've all been cleaned through with carb cleaner, blown through with the air gun. Ideally I would have put them in a sonic bath, but I don't have one of them. And these are just the screws I need to clean up. Now there is a rebuild kit coming as well with the gaskets, but I'll try and get some of this back in here, and fingers crossed it's going to run like a new carburetor when I'm done. Okay, we now have one very clean carb, and the rebuild kit has turned up. So it's going to be a case of reassembling it. I did partially reassemble it just so I knew where everything went. That's obviously the top gasket. We'll have a wee look in here. Hopefully all the little smaller gaskets that we need are going to be present, fingers crossed. There we've got some needle valves and filters, which is handy. Another needle valve and filter. A filter that is just sitting there, no man's land. What else have we got? Yeah, so we've got all these little gaskets. These are the ones that we need. It looks like something has burst because there's loads of bits floating about, and then we've got that goes on the top, and then that goes on the base. We strangely have a right angled piece of paper with some measurements on it. Put in the comments if you know what that's for, because I have not a clue. We have a spring, that'll be for our accelerator pump. That seal, that's for our accelerator pump. And who knows what the rest of the stuff's for, but I'm sure we'll find out when we start the reassembly process. So, wish us luck. Okay guys, right, we're going to take the SD1 for a wee run. We're going to see how successful I've been with the carb rebuild, if that truly was the problem or if there's still something else lingering there that I haven't found yet. Fingers crossed it's just a carb though. It started really well from cold, so I'm really hopeful that that's done it. So just a wee recap, you'll have seen earlier on in the video, stripped that carb right the way down to nothing, got a rebuild kit, fitted a rebuild kit, cleaned 20 years worth of crap out of the carb, which I think was most probably the issue. Really I should have done that a couple of years ago, but other jobs got in the way and it did run, to be fair. Reassembled it, put it all back together, turned the key and it still wasn't right. And what had actually happened is there's a couple of vac lines on the front. There's only one of those out of the 3 used. So what we found is, out of these 3 vac lines on the front, one of them wasn't plugged properly, so it was drawing in a hell of a lot of air, which flung me. I was getting a bit panicky that it wasn't the carb after all. Anyway, we've sorted that. And then today, started from cold, no worries whatsoever. So fingers crossed. We've done the painful bit, half tank of petrol. So we'll open it up when we get on some country roads. But even without going much further, you know, I can tell it's a million times better than it was. You know, there's a clutch in, so it happily idles like it should now. So that's a positive sign. So they're just light acceleration, super smooth, no hesitating or flat spots like we had before. So really pleased with that so far. Hopefully there'll be somewhere in Scotland that isn't a 40 mile an hour speed limit and we can actually go a little bit faster. Again, obviously this country road there's tons of schools and crossing patrols and things you need to stay at 40 for. They justify the 40 mile an hour speed limit. Fields either side. Nightmare. But I mean, that's sitting in 4th gear, 30 mile an hour, what's that, 1400 RPM, and it's perfectly happy. What a pleasant surprise. Alright, look at this, we've got a national speed limit. Imagine that. Right, 2nd gear. Yeah, a lot better. Doesn't have an extra 100 brake or anything, but it's a lot smoother. So, oil pressure's looking good, temperature's looking good, fuel's looking good for the moment, speed's pretty boring, RPM's pretty boring. What we'll do is we'll find somewhere to pull in, do a quick walk round, check everything under the bonnet. Not that I'm paranoid, of course. Right, another national speed limit. There we go. Right, second gear. Still wallows a bit, as you would expect. There we go, nice straight. What do we think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I'm pretty impressed anyway that it's running how it should. What do we think about the sound? Pretty good. Does sound a lot better outside, to be fair. It's a little bit dumbed down in here. It's a little bit muffled in here. You don't really feel the full extent of it. What we'll do is we'll do a wee U-turn here and I will readjust my camera, which I just knocked. Right, what we'll do is we'll do a wee first and second gear. See what you think. Ready? Right, there we go. How good is that? Over the moon with how that's running. I mean, what better way to spend a Saturday morning, right? Blasting about the country roads in an old V8. There's our idle. Tiny wee bit high, but at least it's safe and it's, you know, it's functioning. Okay, same lay-by, few weeks later, except I have no helper. So it's just going to be selfie time, and it's super windy today. So I guess there's probably no point in doing another walk round because nothing much has changed. Well, only one thing other than the carburetor has changed, which for me is a huge improvement. And that is those. We got rid of those minging pedals that were in there. We got some standard rubber ones. I done a quick wee video changing them, but I'll maybe include that at a later date. So let's take a wee look under this bonnet. Right, everything's in one piece. Put that wee cap back over there. Let's have a wee check on that carb. Take that air cleaner off. Have a wee nosy, make sure nothing has loosened. Not that I don't have 100% confidence in my mechanical ability. There we go. Yeah, so you can just see the new gasket and stuff around there. Yeah, that's all solid. I wasn't too happy about the angle of that. That's a wee bit weird. I might have to do something about that. It kind of comes in and out, but I'm sure I can figure out. That was the one that was leaking, so I need a better solution for that. What else have we got going on? More importantly, let's check the fuel line. Fuel line, nice and solid. Yep, that ain't moving. That ain't going anywhere. No leaks out of that, so that's good, because we don't want fuel leaking. Now this one here, vac line for the Dizzy, that's ancient. I'm going to replace that. I'm just not convinced we're getting advance on that. I pulled that off the other day when it was idling and nothing much happened. So that's one for another video where we'll check that, and then we'll probably have a look at idle mixture. But I think idle mixture might be not too bad actually, the way that it's running. Alright, let's have a wee look round. No other leaks or things apart from that valley gasket. Yeah, the valley gasket is pretty minging. Right, the long way home or the short way home? Let's see. I think we will go the long way home. One other small update as well. I have managed to secure a used headlining for recovering purposes. Thank you very much to the donor of that, you know who you are. So that could well actually be the next video on the SD1. I haven't even planned actually the next ones I'm doing yet. But yeah, so we're going to get some fabric ordered, get that recovered, figure out how it fits. I've never fitted one and there wasn't one on it. So I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do a tutorial video on this, but we will have a go nevertheless. Jesus, did you see? Oh, that was that was close. Jeez, God, look, there's another one. What the hell is going on here? Jesus. That was nearly the next video. Repaint on a Rover SD1 Vitesse. That would be just my luck. God. This really does sound mint. As you can tell, I'm grinning from ear to ear, which is quite a rare sight on my videos actually. Anybody that knows me knows I generally veer on the grumpy side. Under the tunnel noise. Yeah, that was pretty good. Another wee cheeky second gear pull. Right, so I hope you all enjoyed that video, got an insight into how to strip and rebuild a 4-barrel carb, and enjoyed watching me blast about in the V8. Catch you all next time when we get stuck into that headline and retrim, and thanks again for watching.